I mentioned it earlier that a few weeks ago I attended a discussion. It's called the Philosophy Cafe, where the subject was the 5 great unsolved problems of philosophy. So this is something that Oxford University put out, OUP put it out as a, I guess they want to encourage. It's like a gimmick. I mean, the 5 great unsolved, all problems are unsolved in philosophy anyway. So anyhow, but it's interesting. What are the 5 great questions? They wanted to discuss it. What are the 5 great questions? One, the first one was, is there free will? Second one was, what can we know at all? Question of epistemology, skepticism. Third one was, who am I? Sounds familiar. The fourth one was, what is death? Death means death for the conscious person, for the person, not the physical aspect of death, which is of interest to doctors, but for you as a living being, what happens to me at death? That's the question. And then the last one was, what is justice? Now you will see, first 4 of them are concerned with consciousness. Free will, knowledge, who am I? Of course, death. They're all concerned with consciousness. And I was just thinking, in these verses from 11 to 25, Sri Krishna has given us the answers, the Vedantic answers to these 5 questions. You may agree with it or you may not, but listen to these answers. What are the answers given by Vedanta to these 5 questions? Let's take it one by one. The third one first. Who am I? That is the question actually Krishna is trying to answer. He is saying that you are not the changing body, you are the unchanging consciousness, the self. You are not the body subject to death, birth and death, but you are the unborn, undying consciousness. All-pervading consciousness. Atman, you are Atman. That's the answer to the question, who are you? What you think of yourself, what most of human knowledge thinks of you as, is not the real truth, is not the reality about you. This is the answer given by Vedanta, by Krishna here. One, most important. This is the first, maybe it's enough if you take this away. Everything else follows from this. Second, do we have free will? Krishna has not talked about free will here, but you have to derive the answer from this. What is the Vedantic idea of free will? First, if you ask, do you have free will? The first preliminary answer is yes. This Atman, not knowing itself under ignorance, identifies itself with a mind and body and says, I am the doer. Or as Krishna says here, I slay or I am slain. In the war, we read Emerson's poem. So first answer is yes, I am the doer. I am the doer means I have free will. I can do this way, I can do that way. And then I set karma into motion. And because of karma, I do this and I get the result of karma. It's only by doing it out of free will that I deserve these good and bad results. That's the first answer, preliminary. Deeper answer, no. You don't have free will. Whether it's the Vedantic way of putting it, that it is God's will alone which acts, you only think that you do, but it's actually Ishvara's will. Or whether it's modern neuroscience, Libet experiments and all, they're saying that it is the brain which is doing it and you have an illusion of free will. The body is doing it. The brain and nervous system are acting. And you think, I have decided. No, the brain has just, out of courtesy, given you a memo. We are going to do this. And it goes ahead and does it. The Benjamin Libet experiments, actually in neuroscience, they prove it. Of course, there's a lot of discussion. The scientist I had debated with in Ruben recently, he said he's saying, in fact, his latest article is about free will. He says it's more complex than that, but anyway. So deeper examination shows that we do not have free will. In the Gita itself, Krishna will say, one verse is there which he has repeated 3 times in Gita. And the verse is, in the 13th chapter he says, Prakrityaiva karmani kriyamanani sarvasha yapashyati tathatmanam akartaram shapashyati. Prakriti alone does everything. Nature does every action in the world is done by nature. Once you realize this, which means in neuroscience terms, brain and nervous system are doing everything. The body is doing everything. Once you realize this, then what happens? Krishna's point is, then you realize that you are the non-doing self, the non-agent self. Akartaram sapashyati. He realizes, I am the consciousness which is not a doer. And Krishna has mentioned this verse 3 times in the Bhagavad Gītā. And actually, if we look at it practically, in our body mind, how much of it are we in charge of? Do you produce the multiple, if you're given charge of a factory producing all the biochemicals that your liver is producing, what a terrible job it would be. And that's just one liver. One doctor told me it will take a 50-acre factory to produce the various kinds of biochemicals, enzymes and all which are being produced by just your liver. Suppose you were in charge, CEO, of the body and all its activities. We would be dead within 30 minutes. Within 15 minutes or 1 minute itself we'll be dead. We'll be overwhelmed by it. The enormous amount of activities are going on without any involvement, any consultation also. No courtesy involved here. Then the body, the liver, the lungs, the circulatory systems, the endocrine system, then even the nervous system. They're not asking us. They know, no good. This fellow is useless. Don't involve him. It's like you're flying in a plane. If the pilot suddenly says, okay, take over. What will you feel like? That actually happened to me, but anyway, this is a story I'm forbidden to tell. So, what will you feel like? You can't do it. It's too difficult. And we don't do it. So many things are happening. How little of it we are actually in charge of. Akatta, you are not the doer. There's a second answer. Second answer to what? The question of free will. The first answer, yes, we have free will. Second level, deeper answer, no, we don't have free will. Third level answer, final answer, again, yes. But not that we have free will, we have freedom. As Atman, as pure consciousness. Swami Vivekananda says the term free will is a contradiction in terms. Free will is a contradiction in terms. Will is part of causation. It's not free. So the Atman, you can be free, but you don't have free will. So that's the last answer. And there is a whole theory about it. Then what do you do now? You have the appearance of free will. In reality, you don't have free will. An ultimate goal is spiritual freedom. Then what do you do? And the answer is, if you are interested in knowing, is that you use the illusion of free will, the appearance of free will, to acknowledge that only God has free will, not us. That means continuously use this so-called free will to surrender unto God. Keep on giving back unto God what belongs to God. Okay. So this is the question of free will and its answer given by Krishna. Third, can we know anything at all? The question of knowledge. And the answer given by Sri Krishna, again you have to derive it. Vedānta says, what we know is samsara. Through our senses and our mind. It's a kind of knowledge, a vyavaharika, transactional knowledge, which helps us to live in this world, but it's not knowledge of reality. This is not knowledge of reality. Sri Ramakrishna put it in his very pithy way. He says, Aker gyan gyan, aneker gyan agyan. The knowledge of the one is real knowledge. The knowledge of the many is ignorance. Somebody, I think Ayan Maharaj, he was quoting Kant. Learned ignorance is the end of Kant or Hamilton. That is in the gospel itself. Learned ignorance is the end of philosophy and the beginning of religion. So, the Mundaka Upanishad says that paravidya and aparavidya. Aparavidya is relative knowledge and paravidya is knowledge of the transcendent reality. This is Atman. So this is Vedantic perspective on knowledge. What can we know? Then what was the fourth question? Death. We just discussed it. Death is death of the physical body. It's like changing clothes. The subtle body goes on. Atman does not go or come or go anywhere. It is one consciousness, steady and unchanging. You are that unchanging Atman. Steady Atman, not coming and going. In you this game goes on. And ultimately it does not go on also. It's an appearance of Maya. And the last one is, if you take up the question of justice, it's the whole question of karma. What, in this world, what determines what's going on? Is there ultimately justice or not? we will say, yes, in one sense, there is karma is the long-term justice. And ultimately, we all get what we deserve. So Vivekananda said, good, good, bad, bad, none escape the law. You can escape the law only by enlightenment, by realizing that you are the Atman. So, this is what Sri Krishna would say to the 5 great unsolved problems of philosophy. Now, you don't have to accept it, but let us at least consider these as pretty profound, deep answers to these 5 questions. Very good. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Tu, 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 tu.